Good evening, everyone, and welcome, and thank you for joining us. My name is Ingrid Schwartzkopf. I'm a recruitment officer here at the Faculty of Applied Science and Engineering at the University of Toronto. Thank you for joining us again. Tonight we have with us Professor Alaman and I'm Amreen from the Department of Industrial Engineering. Just a few housekeeping notes for this evening before we get started. This is a session to highlight the Industrial Engineering program. We will not be taking admissions questions on screen. However, my colleague Steve, who is on the chat, will provide you with contact information so you can connect with us offline for any admission-based questions that you may have. Again, for those of you that are joining us tonight and this is your first time learning about the University of Toronto, U of T's engineering program is a world-renowned faculty. We're known for our leading-edge research and discovery. Regardless of the program that you choose, you will have access to U of T's top ranked professors like Professor Alaman. And as well, the curriculum that is constantly evolving, and we're going to really touch on the industrial engineering program tonight. Also, we offer the most interdisciplinary engineering program in Canada, and you can really tailor your degree. So tonight we're really going to highlight those attributes that we have, so the academic options and the minors and the certificates, and definitely adding to the depth and the breadth of your studies. And we're really just going to go into depth of that specifically for the industrial engineering program. So without further ado, I'm going to start the evening off by getting Amreen and Professor Alaman to introduce themselves and just give us a little bit of a background of themselves. So whoever wants to start.
Okay, I'll go first. So I'm Professor Dion Alaman. Obviously, I'm in the Department of Industrial Engineering, Mechanical and Industrial Engineering in the Industrial Engineering program. My research is in medical decision making, so using the industrial engineering area of operations research to apply mathematics to make better decisions for patients, better decisions for hospitals, hopefully culminating in better public health for everybody. So I guess I've been here at U of T for almost 10 years. I did my bachelor's, master's, and PhD at the University of Florida. Go Gators. And it's actually really great to be here in Toronto now.
I'm Amreen Punawala. I am a final year industrial engineering student here at U of T. I did the engineering business minor here as well, and I am planning on pursuing a career in management consulting upon graduation.
Oh, great. So we got a versatile background. So those students that are really wanting to learn about industrial engineering, whether on the healthcare side or the management business side, we can really cover all aspects of that tonight. And to start off, one question that I've always have, and you know, I think I do a good job, but as a recruiter, I like to resort to the source. And maybe Professor Alaman, you can tell us a little bit about what is industrial engineering?
What is industrial engineering? So I actually get this question a lot. I've yet to stumble upon a good answer. I usually just go with what isn't industrial engineering. Industrial engineering is all about making better decisions, interacting better with your environment, handling your data better, and just being smarter, better, more efficient. Our major professional society in academia, Informs, their tagline is the science of better, which I think is an appropriately vague description of what Indy is. We have three major branches in industrial engineering. They're human factors, information systems, and operations research. And they each focus on sort of very different aspects of doing things better. So human factors has a lot to do with interaction with the environment around you, anything from physical, like ergonomic chairs, which reminds me I should sit up straighter and make sure my lumbar is supported, to how people interact with each other, and cognitive psychology, designing digital interfaces. Information systems is all about coordinating data systems, you know, lots of complex data systems talking to each other all the times. For example, think about your app talking to your phone app, talking to your computer, talking to Wi-Fi. You know, how do we streamline data so it's easily usable and understandable and presents the right information at the right time? And then operations research, which is my particular specialty, is about using mathematical models to represent systems, and then we try to think about those systems in a mathematical perspective and find optimal decisions to those problems. Like, for example, how can you optimize your production levels so as to maximize profit, while bearing in mind the fact that you only have so many resources like people and raw materials and so many hours in a day, etc.
Great, that is a great example, and I will definitely be using that on the road. Now, Imreen, why did you decide to get into industrial engineering, or was that the route that you started off at when you first came into the program?
So yeah, I joined as an industrial engineering student my first year. So when I was in high school, I figured that I really enjoyed math, but I also enjoyed business and a little bit of humanities. So I was trying to find the best combination of the two, and I thought industrial engineering would do the job. So when I did join in first year, we had some really cool projects where we worked on real life clients or real life situations, and we used economics, some business knowledge, as well as engineering principles. And I think that's the main reason why I wanted to join. And I'm glad I was part of this program.
Yeah, no, that's
We're glad
great.
to have you.
Thank you.
And maybe both of you could touch on, what are these opportunities that are specifically available to industrial engineering students? So I know, Imreen, you might speak to your experiences, but Professor Alma, maybe you could speak to the broader opportunities that are available.
Sure. Well, Erin, why don't we start with your experiences?
Sure. So in terms of opportunities, the way I see it, there's opportunities in the industry as well as in the academia. You could go into research, and I'm sure a professor can speak more about that. But in the industry, you can go into human factors, you could become a UX, user experience specialist if you wanted to. You could go into more of the business side of things, so that would be consulting, whether it's technology or management, or even anything in the form of financial engineering. A few of my friends are going into investment banking, which is something you wouldn't traditionally think of an engineer to do. There's also opportunities in the information system area, in terms of database modeling, people who are doing computer programming. It's such a wide variety of things. People going into human factors engineering and human factors consulting, and I know people who are looking at fields such as environment. So it's such a huge. There's so many different areas that you can go into, and that really speaks a lot about this program and how you could make your own journey within the program.
Just like you have yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Erin is exactly right. One of the greatest things about industrial engineering is that it's a very general and broad thing that we do, making things better. So really you can go into any field that interests you, from finance, doing financial engineering, you could be in healthcare as a healthcare engineer. If you've heard the word analytics, that's us, and we're everywhere. Logistics, supply chain management, military operations, retail decisions, we're all over the place. So if there's any particular field that really interests you, you can take your industrial engineering skills and just go there. And at the research level, that's what we do in research. So a lot of our research is focused on tailoring our methods specifically towards unique problems that exist in the industry. So for example, specifically doing financial engineering tasks where you're trying to build a portfolio that match a certain number of requirements. Or for example, I was in a meeting just today with Women's College Hospital about starting a new project where we look at optimizing operating room schedules across a multitude of collaborating hospitals in order to reduce wait times. If it interests you, your industrial engineering skills can take you there, and that's actually something that I really love about industrial engineering. I originally got into industrial engineering because I was super into efficiency. Later on, I found out almost everyone in my family is an industrial engineer, and that's why everyone in my family is always talking about being more efficient. I thought, I wanted to be efficient. I wanted to help businesses be leaner. But then ultimately along the way, I found out that I could do things like healthcare and medicine, and I thought, actually, I think that that's something that I would like to devote my life to. And there it was, right? So I changed my mind about exactly what it was that I wanted to do, 3 years into my program, but it was no big deal, right? I didn't really have to change anything. I just, do some research projects with some professors over the summer, and eventually land myself in grad school, and here I am.
And I mean, that's the great thing about, the U of T engineering degree, is the flexibility and the options. You know, a student could come into industrial engineering. For sure, you don't have to know if you want to get into the business side or the healthcare side, but at least you have the option, because you know a lot of students nowadays are struggling with deciding, do you go the business route, the healthcare side? How do you know at 17 what specific specialization? So it's really nice to have that reassurance that they have some time to figure it out before the end of the finish line. Now moving forward, maybe Amarine and Professor Alman, you could touch on our design design courses that we start off right away in first year, Capstone. I always want to learn more about it. I always hear about it, but I would love to know a little bit more. What kind of projects happen in class? And maybe you can dive us into your first year if you can remember back.
Sure. I can start off with that. So in my first year, our project was on how we could integrate solar energy into a building to make it more efficient. And that was really cool because we were working with a real client, and I don't know if other schools do that, or I didn't expect coming into U of T first year and being put on something that could actually create value and impact. And the cool thing about it was that everyone in my team was from a different background, and we kind of brought like different perspectives. We all worked together. We were trained through the engineering strategies and practice course and the professors that we had to really think of things in a very structured and organized manner. So I think that experience, when you're in your first year, you don't really have a lot of experience when you're looking for an internships, but I think that was very, very useful in terms of future career. In terms of design projects, I think there's a huge variety. I'm currently doing my Capstone project, and our project's on mobile banking. And when I tell people outside of engineering that I'm working on a mobile banking project on seeing customer behavior, they're always confused, and they're like, "Hey, I didn't know that was part of engineering." But it's the interesting thing is that it combines the human factors element, a little bit of statistics and analytics to really see what millennials and what young people want in their mobile banking services, and how companies can help cater to their needs. So there's so much relevance, there's so much impact that this could create. I know my friends are doing other really cool projects, like one of them is working on something where you can design a machine to pick up apples from the farm, which is very different from what I'm doing. There's a few people doing things in financial engineering to optimize portfolios. There's a huge variety of things, and that's the beauty of industrial engineering. You could really pick an area that you're passionate about and find a project and really, really make an impact.
Absolutely. So that start in your first year. You took us right through the design spine to your Capstone project. A little bit more about Capstone. I'm actually the Capstone coordinator for the industrial engineering program, and what it is it's a full year-long course where you work in a team and you solve a real problem for a real company. Like, this is something that the company actually cares about. They are invested in you and your success, and you work together with your team over the course of the year. You have a faculty supervisor, you have a client supervisor, you spend time with your client on site with them, learning about their specific needs, and then you build an actual solution for them. And then we have a big Capstone Expo at the end of the year where everybody makes posters, and there's a competition for best project along with monetary awards, which everyone loves, including me. I hope we get giant, full-size checks this year to hand out. I think that would be fun. But these Capstone projects are really great because they give you an opportunity to gain insight into a new company, for you to hone your softer skills like working in teammates, communicating with your teammates, communicating with your client, because believe it or not, a lot of times the biggest challenges in any job, not just industrial engineering and not just engineering, is communicating, finding out what it is that somebody actually wants versus what it is they actually need. And it really puts you in a good position to have a lot of experience to help you start at a run when you start your career coming out of undergrad. We also have, in addition to the industrial engineering capstone, we have a multidisciplinary capstone program where you would work together with people from different engineering programs and also computer science on a project. So you really get a unique opportunity if you go that route. And we have an international capstone program where you could work with teams that are like half your team is here at University of Toronto, half your team is in, say, Beijing. You work with a client that's abroad, and your foreign teammates, they come here to visit one time during the year, and then you and your team here in Toronto, you go to visit them one time, and it's a really exciting and unique opportunity.
Totally. And now that really, really highlights the flexibility again and all these unique different things. Now, Amory, you said you're also doing a business minor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, what other minors do you tend to see your students or your friends completing in an industrial engineering? Like, what of the other minors tends to complement?
I think in terms of minors, the business minor is very popular. But some of my friends are doing the computer science minor because some of our courses that we take in industrial engineering give you the foundation to take on some of these other more high-level courses in computer science. So they kind of complement each other. So that's a very popular minor. There's also the engineering leadership minor or certificate that people are taking, and I believe there's an environmental minor. So again, very, very a big variety of things to choose from, and whatever you're passionate about, you can kind of pursue that.
And have you found the minor to be difficult to fit into your curriculum, or?
I don't think it's difficult at all because, like I mentioned, some of the courses that I'm taking in industrial engineering, so some of my technical electives count towards my minor. In the case of business, at least the business minor, and it's so easy to do that. And again, like, these courses are so interesting.
Totally.
It's just I would just definitely recommend that.
Anything to add, Solomon?
Well, not having taken any of the minors myself, I can't say, but it is nice. It is a nice opportunity for you to go and really expand your interests in other fields in a way that actually gives you a line item that you can write on your resume, so that employers know, like, you have basically have a verified competency in business or computer science or whatever your minor might be.
Yeah, and some of these great opportunities, really as a reassurance to me that, U of T Engineering is Canada's #1 engineering school, and we continuously rank very high on many international rankings, and, a lot of startup companies and whatnot. Now, Professor Alman, are there any research opportunities or groundbreaking research or any startup companies that you could touch on that has come from our faculty?
So definitely in terms of groundbreaking research, we have a lot of great research in a lot of different areas, and not just my own. In our particular faculty, we have I would say especially high concentrations of professors doing research in healthcare engineering, and financial engineering, and also the public sector, like social services, for example, helping match logistically services to help the homeless with the actual needs and location of the people who need that help, getting goods and services to refugees or new immigrants in order to make society better for all of us. So if you are interested in knowing what it is that everybody does, I do encourage you to go onto our website, and you can just scroll through the faculties, and you can actually see everyone will have a short little bio about every single thing that they're interested in. We have tons of research opportunities for undergrad students. I myself normally have probably 4 to 8 undergraduate students working with me in any given summer, just because students are looking for experience, looking to learn what is it like to do research. Some students, they don't like it, they work for a semester and they're gone. Other students, they stay, they love it. One of those students now actually just graduated from MIT and has got his own professor position. Yeah, it's super exciting. So it gives you a real opportunity to try something new. And if you're interested in research, literally all you have to do is go up to one of your professors and say, I really like what you do. Do you have any research openings? And almost all of us will find a way to make a project for you in a way. We always need work to be done in our labs, and we're always looking for people who can help us do that work and help our our master's students and our PhD students with their work, and I've published papers in scientific journals, good scientific journals, with my undergraduate students because they've made such valuable contributions. And it's great. Love
It's
it.
great to hear.
Yeah.
And I mean, as you were saying, some students choose the research route, but then of course keep in mind to everyone, research isn't for everyone. So we do also foster an internship option for our students. So in third year, our students do have the opportunity to do a 12 to 16 month internship called the professional experience year. It is a paid internship, and I'll let Professor Alaman and Emre speak to that, of where your students are going and what opportunities that you've seen your students exploring within industry.
Yeah, so, perhaps unsurprisingly, given what we've said earlier, our students go to a wide variety of companies for PEY, ranging from public sector like Environment Canada and Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care, to finance like National Bank, CIBC, to retail like Walmart and Canadian Tire, eBay and Kijiji, if that counts as retail, and also to various around as well. So, and also manufacturing, like for example, Celestica, who conductors here in Toronto. That we have a brewery building, and everyone who works get their bar, and they like, yeah, they do all the training for that